Hey folks, Cool18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. And today we're going to do the hardest thing I have yet had to do in this entire game, which is to say a precision landing on Duna. We are going to try to target a specific area. And that's a lot harder to do than on Minimus or the Moon because the atmosphere makes it a little bit more difficult to calculate. Now the very first thing I have to do is make sure that my tin can is actually empty this time. Bill the hitchhiker over here, sneaking a ride. We can't have that. So I think what I need to do is right click on this and then alt click. Oh, just alt-click. There it is. All right, it is currently empty, so I've transferred Bill out of here. So this is completely empty. We still have the Probodobodine over here to do the steering. As far as I think I remember, I have gone and emptied or filled up all these fuel tanks. They should be completely full. So I suppose the thing to do now is to simply decouple. Let's undock. And I want to control from here. Thank you very much. We're not going to do this because probably we already have the science, just not in this vehicle, and we haven't actually sent it back yet. Once we pick up Jebediah from the surface and safely return him to the space station here, we will then return him and all the science back to Earth. All right, let me put on the RCS for just a tiny second here and then give us psh, psh, psh. Sound effects are important, of course. We're going to do one of those. All right, turn off the RCS. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So we are going anti-clockwise, and what I have done is using the this checkpoint mod is put a really nice obvious flag over here. The flag where first landing, there we go, it's Come Save Me. The flag for Come Save Me, which is where we're going, is visible, but I wanted an even bigger little signpost on there for us. So this what's it called? Waypoint Manager mod lets you put these extra little waypoints places. It's going to be handy later on when we do a little bit more touristy stuff. But for now, we're okay. So, assuming I've got all this correct, if we were to just burn retro here, although what I should do before we burn retro is make sure, let's kill the rotation and then just be a little off to the side of our space station. There we go. We don't have a ton of monopropellant because we only have what's in the capsule, so we don't want to use too much here so that we can come back in. Although what I'm thinking about is right when I go in for the landing, yeah, I have the reaction wheels, but I might turn on the reaction control system right before we touch down just to help prevent any sort of tip overs, for example. It's confirmed that the landing gear is set and the hotkeys are comfortable. They are. Let's confirm that our staging is where I want it to be, which is to say, if we zoom in here, we're going to go Drogue 1, Drogue 2, both outers. I think, honestly, I probably should just load up on even more parachutes, because I'm still almost certainly going to have to do a little bit of retro right before we land. But, you know, that's okay. So right now we're looking at 2200 delta V. Hopefully that is enough to go orbital. It sounds like really what you need is about 1300 from Duna. I hope that's vaguely correct. Otherwise, this rescue mission isn't going to rescue a whole lot at all. Okay, so what I want to do is I would like to drop my orbit. Now, if I do it here, no, I should probably wait until I'm at the other side. Because, of course, if I burn here, I drop the orbit here the most. Well, actually, it's sort of here, I suppose. Drop it here. And my idea, and the difficulty is, again, the atmospheric effects. So what I want to do is get it so that maybe we'd sort of hit Duna maybe over here. Because my hope is that right around here, just before Jebediah, is when we sort of cross that 15,000 meter line, which is really when the atmosphere starts to get thick enough to get some work done. So that is what I'm hoping for. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. Let's say to here for now. Open this up. We can turn off the ASS. We've got our solar panels extended, which should be fine. We will be on the dark side of Duna for a second here, but well, other than the Probodobodine core, we really don't have a whole lot going on. So we're going to leave the station behind that way. Alright, not exactly the orbit I was expecting. I didn't go and, like, mess up the... No. The station's orbit. Like, it's not going to come crash landing down anywhere, is it? That would be terrible! Okay, so that is my plan. I have no idea if this is going to work, guys. I mean, I'm semi-confident that I will execute a landing, but is it a landing that's anywhere close? Now I'm thinking I should have made this a mission where I brought my, brought a rover. You know? Just drop a rover, be able to drive out to Jebediah and pick him up. I suppose we can do a long walk. It has been like, I don't know, something like 2 years since we left Jebediah here. It's a good thing we don't have any life support mods. Holy cow. And yeah, again, I'm pretty sure these experiments, these are Midlands. We should have this data already in the other bit. So, we are indeed not near the space station. I mean, we're actually only a kilometer away, but we don't have to worry about a retro burn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock retrograde here. And I'm going to go for burn. So it's going to drop the orbit on the opposite side over here, is because that is what I'm looking for. Now, how much of my Delta V am I using? None. Why? Oh, because I had my engine derated, derp, for the docking sequence. All right, let's try that again. Although that was working pretty well. It's too bad I can't mouse over here and see what the height is. The periapsis is 4,200, and it's just shy of Jeb there. If we bring this spot down to about 20, I mean that is the lowest point, but about 20, I think that's going to do okay. Actually, no, that's the lowest point. Now, of course, once we're in here, we are hitting a little bit of atmospherics, which is going to drop our peri a little bit more. Is that vaguely what I'm looking for? I hope so. So we're going to be hitting some of the atmosphere here. It's going to be killing us off. I'm actually worried we're going to come in short. You know what? Even though this is a bit of a waste of fuel, and by a bit, I mean definitely. I'm going to burn prograde just a bit, bring it up a bit more again. I'm going to wait until we're a little further over here. Actually, at this point, I suppose I can just wait and do one more sort of retro. You know what? Let's wait. We'll go into the atmosphere. We'll see exactly what happens. If we have to kill some of our horizontal velocity at that point, that's okay. Tell you what, I'll preemptively switch my targeting ball here to surface mode. We're going to turn off the SAS. We're going to go into surface mode there. We'll be ready to kill our horizontal velocity, which is basically just going to be burning retrograde. I mean, you could eyeball this, because at this point, retrograde is basically on the horizon. So what you want to do is aim for this, but then don't stay stuck on retrograde. Just keep your, just put your SAS mode into stabilizing mode, and just stay on the horizon, and that'll kill all of your horizontal velocity. So let's go ahead and move ourselves up here. And hope to God this works. I have no idea. So very soon, there we go. We are now in the atmosphere, which might be valid for science at this point, actually. I'm not sure if we have this data. But no, I'm going to wait until we're landed. We'll do the full thing over here in the lowlands. Oh, well, this is all lowlands, which I don't think we have science for, because we landed in the highlands over here. We might have done something over. You know what? Let's do it. It's fine. At least all the stuff that doesn't need to be reset. So that's atmospheric pressure, crew report. I don't have crew. Okay. Temperature scan. Okay, because we can reset all those on the ground. But I want to do the material study and mystery goo on the ground itself. Okay, so we are now atmospheric. So I can't time warp. I could physics warp, but I don't really want to do that. So we are slowing down. We can watch our orbital speed. Actually, the orbital speed is going up because of reasons. But because right now, technically we're in the atmosphere, but it's still really, really, really thin. Oh God, I hope this works. I really do. All right, there's Jebediah. Target Jebediah way over there on the other side. Our distance is, of course, going to close. What I'm hoping for is that by the time we get sort of around here, just because of a little bit of atmospheric bleed off, our blue line might actually like be looking for like an intersect with the surface right around over here. We'll open up the parachutes, which will kill even more of our horizontal speed, and then I might do a little bit of killing of our horizontal velocity, or potentially increasing our horizontal velocity a bit. I might have to burn a little further ahead if we're going to come short, because that is a pretty long distance for Jebediah to walk, which is what he's going to have to do if we do fall short. So for now, I suppose I could do a little physics warp. It's a little scary. But we've got a small ship. I'll go to ×2. That's going to be something. We are 5 minutes out from the periapsis. I'm afraid this part might be a little bit boring, and I apologize for that. But we're doing as much aero braking as possible here to save a little bit of delta V. Again, we're not really going to do much in the way of aero braking until we get down to about 15,000. But you can see our periapsis is correctly dropping. And it's just going to drop faster and faster as we continue to get lower and lower and lower, and more of our speed burns off. So I guess that does mean we are going to be landing kind of around here. Well, not necessarily, actually, no. Because I think we're actually going to be bleeding off some of our distance over here, because we're losing speed here, which means we're shrinking our orbit from that side, which means our periapsis is actually going to move around over here. Yeah, you can already see it. The periapsis is moving forward. Okay, I'm not crazy. Excellent. So the lowest point of our orbit at some point will be here? I don't know where. Okay, what are we at? We are currently at 35,000 above the actual surface. So ASL is not the amount we're looking for. That's above sea level. But, of course, you know, right over here at the lowlands, we don't have an altitude meter for Jebediah. But that's okay. All right. Still going at ×2. Hopefully that's working okay. I'm actually going to turn off the science display just so it doesn't distract me as we come in here. Periapsis is over here. And so it's going to keep going that way, but again, it continues to drop. But especially once we do the chutes. And I think right when I get around here, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a retro. Well, we'll see exactly where we get. I don't want to fast forward anymore. I know this, like, it's a bit of a wait, but it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. ETA to Jebediah. Well, eventually it's going to stop dropping because we're just going to go above his head. Although I suppose if we know our actual altitude and we compare that to the distance to Jebediah, when the two are the same, it would mean I'm literally overhead, which is kind of interesting to consider. Okay. There we go. I'm going to impact the surface somewhere over here, and again, that's going to continue to shorten. Periapsis is still, technically not impacting, but dropping faster and faster and faster, and it'll keep going on off. Okay, I'm feeling okay. And what I'm planning to do is when I hit 15K above the surface is when I'll open the first drogue. Just confirm that it doesn't tear off after, 10 seconds. Then open the second drogue. Confirm that doesn't tear off. And then once our speed gets... I don't know. I mean, back on Kerbal, it would be 300 meters per second. Because then you're supersonic. Or subsonic, I suppose would be the shortest way to say it. But on Mars, with the thinner atmosphere, or Duna... we should still be able to open the main chutes quite a bit earlier than that, but we still might wait a little bit longer. Okay, altitude is dropping. Periapsis is now basically touching the ground, but still somewhat over there. Overall, I'm really liking the maneuver. God. I'm tempted to do a quick save here so that if a mistake happens, we don't have to restart right from the station. Okay, I'm going to do that. Again, there we go. Again, I'm not going to restart if, like, I just severely miscalculated something, but if I accidentally hit spacebar one too many times when... Now, staging is unlocked, right? Ooh, no! Hang on. Alt-L. And again, there we go. Okay, staging is unlocked. And I have to have staging unlocked for my opening the chutes, but if I hit one too many times, then I'll accidentally decouple my command module. And those are the sort, like, for an explicit misclick like that, I will go ahead and re-roll here. Okay, I'm still liking things quite a bit. What's our altitude right now? So the atmosphere is getting a bit thicker. So we're continuing to lose some of our horizontal speed. There we go. Surface horizontal speed over here is dropping because of the atmosphere just naturally. That's pretty good. Altitude is dropping. I'm going to go ahead and give just a wee bit of retro over here. Just a bit more. Kill that horizontal speed a bit more. Once I open the chutes, it's going to really slow us down, but we're a little bit away from that. Okay, I'm going to save myself like 2,000 delta V here. It's my altitude, 20. Because yeah, even if I open the drogue right now, they wouldn't do much. Alright, let's go to full burn for a sec here. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that right around here we are going to be low enough. I'm not sure that we will be. Of course, we are still, dropping our parry some more from the wind resistance, the air resistance that is there. Ooh, I'm below 2,000 delta V. It's making me a little uncomfortable. Okay. I'm going to activate the first drogue. Now, if I just hit space, that should work, right? I might have actually staged the engine. Okay, there we go. So one drogue has been activated, but the atmosphere is still too thin for it to trigger. I'm worried we're going to fly... Yeah. Shoot. Oh, I don't know how much delta V we're going to need to land. I'm going to kill off a bit more of my horizontal speed. So we're going to overshoot Jeb one way or another. But we'll just have to deal with that. I should have done this a little sooner. Which drogue is it? Let me go ahead and say 0.1 atmosphere is enough to actually deploy. We're dropping quite quickly here. I can't afford to burn anymore. Let's deploy these landing gears and hope that they actually increase my resistance. Okay, drogue 1 just went. And it is not burned off. Okay. We should... You know what? Let me go... Face retro. That's going to be okay. Alright, open the second drogue. Good. Actually, my surface speed is quite low at this point. I could really, I think, open all my chutes. I'm not sure that... Yeah. Okay, everything is staged. They just are waiting for a little bit more air pressure. Again, I could drop it. Oh, there they go. We're at 0.04. Okay. Jebediah, we severely overshot you. So we are going to be 24 kilometers. So he's going to have to hike, well, by the time we land, about 30 kilometers. You know what? He's a big boy. He can do it. We'll do it between episodes. But Jebediah is over there. And our lander is over here. I think it's going to be okay. All right, surface, altitude, that. So 2 kilometers. We are burning off some speed here. Now, last time our chutes got us down to about 20 meters per second. I think this is a heavier craft, although we do have the 2 extra drogues that we didn't have last time. I'm going to go and derate this. Okay, they're fully extended. Let's see how much they slow us down to. Oops. Surface upness. Which, of course, I could do manually pretty easily, but that's okay. 300 meters. Okay, looks like it's... Now, we do have to bring us down to about 12 meters per second. Right around there. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Okay. We've got 1,700 delta V left in the tank. That landing was coming in pretty fast. But we did it. We're 30 kilometers away from Jebediah, so he's got a bit of a hike to do. But that's hopefully all right. So everything is down. Good. Let's go ahead and extend all of our solar panels. The other thing I'm going to do is Alt-L, lock my staging again. Lovely. Extend that. We are on a bit of a slope, but the landing was really smooth. The extra reaction wheel, combined with the fact that we were stability locked, really helped keep us upright, I think. That was a hard landing. That was, like, right at the edge of the limit for the landing gear. Now, if we'd gone a little bit over, I'm not sure if they would have just exploded right away or just become damaged. In any case, again, just in case there's a crash, I'll just hit F5 here because I'm about to change to Jebediah. Oops! No, I have to put up a marker so that Jebediah can actually see where we are. So I'm gonna have to go back to my spaceship, put a waypoint marker. Especially since Jebediah doesn't have a nav ball, so even being able to tell, which way is east, which is really the direction we're going in. We just have to walk east. But even just being able to tell that without a nav ball can be tricky. I suppose what we can do is like figure out what time of day it is on Duna from the map, and then switch to him, and then check to see where the sun is. So I want to add a new waypoint. My current location. Escape. Save that. There we go. So we got a little thing. You can change what the icons are. I'm not terribly concerned about that. I'll make sure this one is on, although I might have to do that. I think every time you change ships, it'll automatically deactivate the waypoints, and then when you switch to the other one, it'll put it back on. Let's see here. So now I can switch to Jebediah. Jebediah Kerman. Fly. Quote-unquote fly him. He's been stranded on here for over 2 years. Man, they should make a movie about something like this. Could you imagine being stranded on Mars? It'd be crazy. All right, Jebediah. Is that the other target? It is. Yeah, there it is. So I guess that marker, it was showing me that there was a ship over there, so I didn't actually need the marker. But again, it is nice and having the extra visibility. Oh, still shows me, I guess because I'm close enough. But maybe it wouldn't show on the map. So that's about it. So, estimated time. How long is it going to take him to walk over there? Just a little over a day. Well, we can go to a run. Okay, it's a marathon now. It's going to be 4 hours. Actually, a marathon is 21.6 miles, which is going to be, what? About 40 kilometers. So at 4 minutes, so he's not running quite a marathon. He's running like 3/4 of a marathon. And 4 hours is like a decent starting time, I think, for a marathon. Like, if you're actually, you know, you're not just walking it, for example. 4 hours is like, okay, you technically vaguely jogged a marathon, I think. Because, like, the really crazy times, like, under 2 hours. So, he's not quite a marathon runner, although he's pretty damn close. He is wearing this entire suit, which is pretty good. Although, there is reduced gravity over here, so that might help. I wonder if we'd go faster if we did jumps. It looks like it's sort of 6 of one, half dozen the other. Oh, we can do an EVA report from the lowlands. Sure. No? Oh, I already have an EVA report on me. Yeah, no, don't override. This is lowlands over there. As soon as we get there, we'll be able to put all this stuff into the ship and then redo science around the lowlands. Jeb, just because you've been stuck here for like 2 years doesn't mean you don't still have a mission. So, obviously, I'm not going to be recording this 4-hour march. In fact, I should have brought a rover. And I wish I'd executed the landing better. I should have just retroed a little bit more from space. I think, because when you're around Kerbal, you, the atmosphere is a lot thicker, a lot higher up. So I'm used to thinking like, okay, as soon as I touch the atmosphere, it's basically going to stall all my horizontal velocity. But Duna being so much thinner, yeah. So from orbit, I should have retrograded more aggressively. But it's hard to know like what the sweet spot is. Anyway, see you next time. Poor Jeb. Poor Jebediah. Way over there, across all these hills. Well, he's got some cardio. He's just been sitting on his butt for a couple of years. He's got to get the cardio going again. Poor Jebediah. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.